Okay, so this is going to be the Michael Brown Esoteric Symbolic Breakdown. So we know Michael Brown was shot in Ferguson, Missouri. Michael Brown Jr. was born May 20th, 1996. He was born in the symbol of, or in the sign of Taurus, which is the bull. Now, I'm not going to be breaking down every single thing. I put pictures up here so that you could kind of see it for yourself. And his teacher told everyone he was a gentle giant. You know, the cop who shot him, Darren Wilson, was also possibly a Taurus. So we have the two Taurus going head to head. You know how they said, there he was in his face and all that. So, the name Michael means who is like God. The name Darren means great in American or Greek, but born at night in African. So, darkness or whatever. He was shot at 11 times, and 11 is a very symbolic number. It also is symbolic of the two pillars, gateway, spiritual meaning. So whenever you see the number 11, pay attention to that. That means there's a spiritual message in the situation at hand. And also you have the hand sign for the Freemason for distress. And here you have Michael Brown with the Cardinals hat on, a red Cardinals hat. And red is very significant in this symbolic breakdown because it is, first of all, it's the color of a bird, a winged creature, a cardinal. And if you know what a cardinal is, there's another cardinal in the Vatican that is of religious symbolism. Then we have Archangel Michael, whose signature color is red. And you can see these older paintings. He's darker in color and he's always in red. He either has red robe, red sash, but he has lots of red. And then we have the city of St. Louis, the arch, the portal, the archangel, the arch portal in St. Louis. And there's another saint, St. Michael in St. Louis. And I'll get into the St. Louis later, but here's St. Michael on top of St. Michael in France. St. Louis is also from France. St. Louis feast day is on August 25th, and so is Michael Brown's funeral. That is not a coincidence. Also, Archangel Michael is known as the right hand of God, and his element is fire, and his color is red. Everything you see of Archangel Michael is going to be red. His candle, his oil, his robes, and everyone's asking, why did Michael Brown's mother wear red to the funeral? Well, most people wear black, but red symbolizes fire, the sun. It symbolizes Archangel Michael. And see how she wears his pin on the right side instead of the left, because the left is where the heart is. But Michael Jackson also wore his armband on the right side as well as his glove, and he also wore a lot of red for a reason. He was symbolically, personifying the Archangel Michael persona. So you can see all his armbands. They were all always on the right hand of God. Even though he did have a glove, he wore that one on the right hand as well for the same reason. Now we'll have Archangel Michael down here stepping on top of a devil figure in flames, and he holds balance, but he's also the saint of police officers. So he has to bring balance to the police. So do you see what's going on right now? He's bringing balance to the police right now. And if y'all seen the movie V, y'all know what's going on. And it's funny how Anonymous got involved really quick. And you can see a lot of similarities that happened with V that happened with Mike Brown. And that happened in the riots in Ferguson, or the protests in Ferguson. You can see a lot of things that are symbolized in movies. And movies are really big on symbolism. So you can see the symbolisms in the movie as well as in real life. So I know that this is all for a symbolic reason. And these are Michael Jackson's kids. Prince was actually V for Halloween one year. And if you can check out the Thriller jacket, you can see a lot of similarities in the logo, the V on there. And of course it's red, of course. And you're just going to see a lot of similarities, and you're going to see a lot of symbolism that's going on around the Michaels and the protests and the bringing of justice, of balance, of equality, of raising awareness about certain things, you know, and having to be a sacrifice for raising that awareness. And you can see right here, Michael Brown, where he was shot on all of his right side of his body. He was shot in his throat. He was shot in his eye. He was shot in his crown chakra. And it's all on the right side. And the right side symbolizes Archangel Michael, of course. And his chakra is the throat chakra. Okay. So you can see where he was shot clearly. And these are just some meanings of the chakras. If you didn't know, there's some information there. Now look at the grave sites. Rest in peace, Mike. This is where he was shot. And same thing with Michael, except now it was first said that Michael Brown stole some cigars, but then it was later said that he didn't. But cigars are symbolic of spirituality, communicating with ancestors, with the spirit world. And the tobacco itself is also known as food of the gods. And milk is what they actually call propofol, and it's also considered a food of the gods. And also it is a symbol of eternal life as well. So you have to add that alchemical or alchemy into the mix of the symbolism, or otherwise it won't be complete. It has to have all the elements. So Michael Brown died in the sign of Leo. You know, the sun was in Leo when Michael Brown died. And as you can see, the element is fire, the planet is the sun, and the stone is red, the day is Sunday, the symbol and element is fire. And so the lion is very symbolic, fire is very symbolic. You can see the flame lettering on her shirt, this is Michael Brown's mother. And when they say our rising Kundalini energy, or that fire serpent, or fire, the fire within, the energy, the spirit is rising. Okay, Archangel Michael has red. His planet is the sun, like Leo. And as you can see, like, they get lighter and lighter as time goes on, like until they are Caucasian, actually, in the paintings. And you can also see that the devil becomes more African looking. So you can see how the balance is off and why Michael has to get justice. Okay, so now they've introduced the ice challenge. Okay, in August, when the planet is the sun, the element is fire, and people are rising, their consciousness are rising, they're becoming aware and awake. And now you have all these top, people with lots of influence dumping buckets of ice water on their head. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why are these people doing this on YouTube, of all places? I know some people say it's for charity, but it's for a deeper meaning than that, because people can give to charity without dumping ice on their head. So if you really sit there and think about it, you'll see and you'll understand what they're doing. They're actually trying to extinguish symbolically, freeze symbolically, by elemental magic, your rising energy, your sun, your pineal gland. TD Jakes did the challenge. He challenged Joel Osteen, but guess what? He didn't do it because I think he knows better. So there's elemental magic going on, Do y'all remember that movie Frozen, when if you took your kids to see it, or if you just saw it on your own? Well, one of the sisters, Elsa, has power to freeze. And she was a kid, she was playing around, and she accidentally hit her sister with her powers, her freezing powers, her ice. And her sister, fell out. Ice is very symbolic. even in tarot. Okay, so what we have is ice. It stops the process of growth. It ends a cycle, and it makes things stay the way they are. And we're all about change and growth. Why wouldn't they want you to grow and change and evolve and become higher consciousness? They want to keep you in a mindset that they can control. So you have to really think about that. Now, if y'all seen the movie V for Vendetta, he was against all of that, and he basically caused a protest, a riot, and change. And you can see a lot of the similarities in Ferguson, as you can see in the movie V for Vendetta. So just look at these pictures. I'm just letting it go through, and you can see a lot of the similarities that this movie has, and all the symbolic meaning of it. Now, remember the two bulls? There's two sides of every story. You don't know who's good. You don't know who's bad. It's just a game. That you have to play. And when you play, you can't get confused about who you are, and you got to know who you are, and you have to understand the game. You have to understand how to play. You have to be able to see the moves ahead of time. You have to be able to see the symbols. You have to be able to see the way out, the way in, and you have to be able to see the similarities in the style of the players. So I'm going to go ahead and let you simmer on that and let you understand what's actually going on. And also I wanted to say, the St. Louis tragedy with Michael Brown is a terrible sacrifice for them to make this symbolic, crazy thing that they're doing. But this is America. Okay, well, thank y'all for watching. Comment, subscribe. Peace.